zero level damage. Search. Oh, again.
Man, I'm on the edge of my seat right now. Like, oh wait, this could be a lot of damage right here. Oh, never mind. I take it back. It's another quick. Wow. Vortex kick. Vortex kick. Bart's
And
down.
killing that Bart.
Oh,
wow, that's game.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Season 2, Week 4 of the Wbel Blind Enthusiast League. I'm joined, as always, with my co-host, Maechen.
Howdy-o.
Hello, and without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right into the standings. All right, so for the standings, in first place, we have Surftaco with 3 points. In second place, we have Ram9, KoushouHaou, Kellz, Isvar, all with 2 points. In third place, we have Unhindered, Loji, Funded, and Alkor, all at 1 point. And finally, ChaseVsAll still trying to get on the board. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the matches. All right, here we have Alkor, coach of Who's Your Daddy, with Surgis, Seymour, and Oberon the Auspicious, versus Loji, coach of Logical Fallacy, with Minwoo, McLeod, and Summer Glaciella. Let's get into the match. All right, so over on Alkor's side, running with the Double Fire Katana, which we've seen come out from him a couple times now. Oberon definitely proving his cost with how strong he's been. First week wasn't the best showing against the Agrius, because Unhindered built her incredibly well, but previous week he absolutely put on the show. So I'm excited to see this team come out from Alkor versus Loji's side. It might not be too effective because he does have not only an amazing tank, but an amazing water physical tank. So she's going to be very difficult to chew through over on Loji's side. The buffs are coming out. We got Minwoo casting the haste on the Summer Glaciella. I wonder if the Summer Glaciella is built to deal damage too, because I'm looking at the team synergy on Loji's side, and I'm wondering if it's just mostly that water and ice VC combo. And just hoping that Minwoo just stays back and supports. The first hit coming out from Surgis, not doing a whole lot on the Summer Glaciella.
Yeah, a little bit of chip onto the Glaciella. Cloud, answers back with a one-shot on the Surgis, proving that he's the better spear user. Glaciella is coming up and putting on her courage, while Minwoo is casting a spell. And we got Seymour, who's doing another evasion buff onto the team. Minwoo's hasting herself. Then she's going to go again. Let's see if she goes and hates McLeod there. Well, she's thinking about it. Yeah, it looks like she's chanting. Oberon's going to come in and see how much he could do against the water unit. Oh, nope, he's going for an AoE. And Minwoo's casting. All right, so the whole team is hasted up for Loji's side. Summer Glaciella. Missed that evasion buff coming into play. And then Loji's McLeod is going to go in and try again. That one hits Seymour, but the elemental disadvantage, keeping Seymour alive a little bit. But he is immobilized, so he's just going to hang out in the back and buff some more. Minwoo, let's see if she moves forward, and she's able to fill up that McLeod with his health. Still all hasted, and he's going to go again. He's going to try again. Oh, and there he goes. He finishes off that Seymour. So now it's Oberon versus the world. Can he do it? It's going to be tough against the water Glaciella, but let's see what he can pull out. He's searching for the best ability. Here he goes. He's going for the limit burst. Kind of a cool animation. Don't see it much outside of WBEL, so it's always fun to see.
Wow.
A lot of damage on the McLeod, and for the elemental disadvantage, not too bad on the Summer Glaciella, but he's going to have to chew through a lot more than that. Glaciella, wow. That was a triple-digit damage. But here comes the Minwoo, which is, we've seen her do this before, where people suffer through big damage hits, but she just comes and fills them right back up as if it didn't happen. So let's see. Oberon's going to try something else. Let's see if he can. Yep, there he goes. I think he chained with himself that time too, so he was able to finish off the McLeod. Still has to finish off 2 other units though. Glaciella, again, triple hit. So it's going to be a battle of can they keep 2 units alive versus the one Oberon this whole fight. We'll see what if Oberon could at least take out the Minwoo if the hate ever drops. But yeah, it's just gonna be. Now we're at the Tickle Fest point of the match. Cue some Benny Hill music or something. But they're just gonna slap themselves back and forth. As Minwoo watches from up above, she's just watching the fight down in the pit. So let's see if she's gonna try to get involved.
Nope.
No, she just hastes up. It's going to be hard for Oberon, though, to get through Glaciella. Let's see if there he goes. He switches targets. That's going to be big. So Minwoo surviving means she'll probably just top herself off, and then he'll have to try it all over again. So, back to full health. That's going to be rough.
Especially with only 6 actions left.
Yeah. Oh, we're down to 6. Yes, and Glaciella now doing 4-digit damage. Not that it's going to make much of a difference. It's more just survival at this point on that side. And Oberon, this is probably going to be his last chance to do something, and figures he just try to slap her.
Yeah.
And then we got a final haste.
He gets one more turn, actually.
One more turn. Okay, so.
Oh my gosh.
He at least got enough AP to do it.
It was the ultimate. Oh my goodness.
Hey. With the counter though.
Wait.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
If he could finish off this Minwoo here, this is going to be a big last turn for him. Oh wow. It's done.
Oh my goodness.
And with that, let's see the screen. There you go. Wow. That counter was huge at the end. It was just, I thought it was doomed when it was just 1 versus 2 with the Oberon going against the Summer Glaciella and the Minwoo. Even when he switched targets to Minwoo, he wasn't able to kill her. But Minwoo going offensive and then getting countered gave Oberon that extra push he needed just to finish her off that final last turn and steal the win at the end. Very, very tight match. A lot of filler with a slap fest in the middle, but at the end it just kind of picked right back up and turned around the ending. What do you think, Chisei?
Yeah, absolutely. Like the Minwoo going offensive it looked very good for Loji, but actually ended up being like the worst possible scenario because the Ultima did just enough damage to proc back the Oberon's heal back, bringing him back to full, which means he had more health than the Glaciella at the end, and then the counter being able to chunk it down some more of her health, though he probably might have had enough damage just to kill her outright even without the counter. He might not have. So the counter proccing, the heal back, all of that really helped Alkor at the very end there secure that win. It was crazy finale.
Agreed. I would have to give that key to the match just to that last turn. The counter, the heal back exactly as you said, and then just being able to kill off that one extra unit and having more health over the Summer Glaciella brought home the win for Alkor. And so that was a key to the match to me.
Yep, nope, I have to agree. I mean, there was a lot of great things that both sides did through the course of the match, but I mean, ultimately it came down to the Ultima at the very end, that very final last turn. It was that last turn, even if it wasn't the most pivotal part, man, it was so exciting. I got to give the key of the match to that turn. So I'm with you.
GG's to both players and congrats to Alkor.
Yep, GG's to both players. All right, so for this match, we have Get Funded, coach of Descending Angels, with Elsorel, Venera, and Knight of Ruin Stern, going against ChaseVsAll, coach of Brave Frontier, with Elena, Silma, and Adelard. So let's get into the match. All right, so over here on Chase's side, we have the Elena, Adelard, and Silma team, which is all red mage, if I'm remembering that correctly. It should be. So that's a pretty strong team. I wonder if he's going to go a bit of an evasion route with the Elena, or if he's going to just go for straight damage, because I don't think red mage has a lot. Oh, that probably answers my question right there. There's the agility up and luck up, so at least getting a little bit of evasion on the Elena at the very least. Don't think the other two units are going to be evading much, but at least that Elena is going to be tricky if Funded doesn't have enough accuracy. Coming out from Funded side, though, he has the light resist buff up, so definitely prepared for the Elena, as Daft Wrecker went live. But so he has a light and dark team of his own, with the Knight of Rune's Stern and the Elsrel going for, has the Greatsword duo there, but also has the light and dark buff there. So I'm interested in seeing how much damage comes out from Funded side, because his team is pretty much just straight damage. And I will say from Chase's side, if that evasion isn't there, all three of those units are going to be pretty squishy. Not the most squishy, but I mean, red mages aren't really known for being super tanky. At least these ones aren't. But the area resist buff coming out with the attack and magic buff coming out. So the buffs are definitely all online for both sides. Unfortunately for the Knight of Rune's Stern, the haste might actually be run out by the time he actually gets to engage here. The magic resist buff coming out is going to be huge against this team, and coming out right before the engage is going to be great. Just to keep how many turns of this buff is active. Once again, also the haste being applied right before the engage is also great. So here comes the damage from Elena, so this should be very telling to the rest of this match, with her being the main carry here. Not bad damage.
So, Elsrel tanked that very well. Vanera got hit 2 times, but she survived it. And Selma doing a jamming thrust with not much damage on that Elsrel. That resist magic coming into play. Knight of Rune's Stern is still not close enough to attack. Let's see if Adelard moves in to do some attacks. Nope, he's rebuffing the luck up TMR. Elena now, she catch them all. Oh, she catches both of them. Takes out the Vanera, but Elsrel still taking a lot of hits and still surviving another hit from Silma. Now she's going to get to retaliate. Let's see what she can do against the backline red mages. She's going for this awesome limit burst animation. She goes to sleep. What does she do to them? Oh, chunks them out. Pretty big damage. See if Stern could follow it up and finish them off. Yeah. Caps them off. But, if anyone could turn this around, Elena can. So let's see. Stern with his shield. Looks like I'm not sure if that damaged it a little bit. I must have missed it. But Elena got to lap him, or did Stern just miss a turn?
He just missed his turn.
Accuracy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So the accuracy is not there on Funded side. So it looks like Elena is going to turn this around. And one more hit depth, and all it took. And, Elena showing us why she was able to be one of the top units of all time, just being able to turn that around at the end with that high evasion. Chisei, what did you think of the match?
Yeah, it was, like I said, it's super high octane. It went pretty much how I expected it to go in terms of the red mage units just not being very tanky. So I was hoping that what they really need to do is get the damage out really quick and really early. And to be fair for the Elena, she definitely did. She brought in a lot of damage against the Vanera. The Elsrel, though, with the resist magic buff and whatever else she might have built up to resist that Elena's damage, she was tanking incredibly well. Especially the Silma, with only doing a jamming thrust of like 1600. Elsrel tanked extraordinarily well and was able to go and attack that backline along with Knight of Rune's Stern, who damage capped both of the backline units. So it was looking very good up until, Stern didn't have the accuracy for the Elena. If Stern had the accuracy, it would have been very close, because he probably would have been able to damage cap Elena with the damage he was bringing, but she still had her courage, and yeah, it would have been a lot closer of a match if he had the accuracy. But that being said, it was really well played by Chase. The evasion little angle was there for the Elena, and that definitely helped him win the match.
Yeah. Agreed. I think Funded did a great job preparing, and looked like he had the right buffs going on. He had the light resist buff, and that which also helped with the Elsrel tanking. She took numerous hits and was still standing, and then did massive damage to that back line, as we pointed out. Unfortunately, she just couldn't keep going, and then Stern just didn't have the accuracy to follow it up to try to turn that around. But I felt it was well built on that side, and but the evasion angle for Chase on his side saved the day. And I think that would be the key of the match, is having that evasion angle on Elena to evade that team and stay alive long enough to finish off the match.
Yep, I completely agree. I would definitely give it to the evasion because, once again, there was a lot of things that went up into that final moment there, but her having the evasion is definitely what kept her alive in that 1v1 versus Stern. He just couldn't hit her. So, key of the match goes to evasion for me.
Agreed. Good, GG's to both players, and congratulations to Chase for getting on the board.
Yep, GG's to both players. All right, so for this match, we have Ram 9, Coach of the Rock Boys, with Kilfei, Veritas of the Waters, and Surgis. And on the other side, we have KoushouHaou, Coach of the Mundificate Orient Warriors, with Surgis, Lucio, and Marielle. So let's get into the match. All right, right off the bat, I just want to say I love both of these teams. I was gushing about them to Maechen before the match started. I really love seeing Veritas of the Waters. When Ram 9 brings Veritas of the Waters for week 1, I was floored, so I'm excited to see more of this unit. And of course, over on KoushouHaou's side, 2 of my favorite units with new Lucio and Marielle, so I'm excited to see these 2 giants go off at each other. I saw the light resist buff come out from Ram 9's side, so that's going to be huge in mitigating some of Lucio's damage, because unfortunately he does not have a non-elemental attack. The Marielle, though, using the Jealous Wrath TMR from Vega, hoping to get some berserks in, and the Surgis coming in with the wind and ice resist buff. So unfortunately, that's only going to really mitigate the Surgis' damage, which I don't think is going to be the main threat he's worried about. But hey, it's something. The all elemental resist buff coming out on the Kilfei and the Veritas of the Waters, which once again will help mitigate some of the damage. So he has light resist and all elemental resist buff. So this Lucio might not do too much damage, honestly, especially with how tanky the Devout jobs are. So, oh my gosh, that even better than I expected. Wow.
Yeah, minimal damage to the Kilfei. She was a very big tank back in the day when she first came out, and showing that she can do it again with all the right buffs and stuff. So let's see what Marielle can do. Looking for that Berserk. Nope, not landing. And then we got Surgis coming in. Still not in range to do anything, so he's just going to buff and run in the back line. I think he's got bow tie on, but he's in the back. So see if Kilfei able to get that energy buster on all 3. Major damage on the Surges, but just very minimal damage on the other 2. So Lucio is gonna do something here. Let's see who he targets. He's able to get 2 of them. Minimal damage on both the Kilfei and the Surges. So all those buffs that were going into Ram 9's side seem to be paying off. Where Veritas responds with killing the Surges. And we got a poison Marielle as well. That's going to be good on a tank to chip her damage down. Surges coming in, but doing minimal damage. And then Marielle, let's see if she can try one last time to get a Berserk in. She's thinking. Nope. Pretty good damage, though, that time against the Kilfei. But no Berserk. Kilfei's going to respond with another AoE. Lucio heals right back up again. I think that procced both times she's done that. So Lucio is going to go and see if he could hit all 3 from that angle, or if he has to... Nope, he just does 1. He's almost out of AP now. Still, that Surge is still tanking and staying alive in the back there. Veritas of Waters didn't finish off the Marielle, but it looks like after her next turn she'll go down if she doesn't do any sort of healing. Surgis comes in. Oh, nope. Surgis is just going to prevent that option from happening and just takes him out. So now it's Lucio against all 3. Not looking good for Lucio, but we'll see. Kilfei, again, some more damage and right back to the counter. I think he's 3 for 3. But he's only got that 12 AP, so, and the basic attack not finishing off the Surges, so it's not looking good. Veritas of the Water is going to come in. A lot of damage. I think this says CT down, but that should be nullified on this league, so I think it's just a display thing. And the Doom. So Lucio tries to take this to turns. it's just going to meet his doom. So, but Killfay's going to just try to take care of it now,
Oh, yep.
and she does. So, well,
Wow.
and that's the match. Chisei, what did you think of that?
That, man, like I said, that was what I wanted to see and more. Like I said, obviously I would have loved to see the Lucio be able to deal some more damage, but with how many buffs in the preparation over on Ram 9's side, there was just no chance for it. The light resist buff, the all elemental resist buff, just alone was enough to pretty much nullify almost all of his damage. But I think he also might have had just the devout cards, like I said, being able to boost up a lot of that tankiness just because the devout cards are so good and the devout characters are so good as well. And like I said, the Veritas of the Waters put on a complete show. I was floored. I was basically being a spectator while Maechen was over here commentating, trying to like watch what all of the abilities did. And like the first ability did a poison and paralysis and a ton of damage. The one ability he used on Lucio, took away some of his AP, CT down, all of that. Like it was, I mean, her kit stack, it's just absolutely wild. It was so fun to watch. Like I said, I just being a spectator, it's just fun for me to watch. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, that was definitely a showing from Ram 9's side, especially that Water Veritas. I agree. Like, just everything from the buffs were on point to the damage and the statuses. Like, anything you'd want to see a unit do, the Veritas did it and did it well. Lucio was hanging in there. Lucio was built very well. He was taking a lot of hits, kept on filling himself back up with HP, but he just eventually ran out of AP and couldn't get enough damage done on the other side. It was an interesting match. Definitely well built by Ram 9. What would you say would be the key to the match?
For me, I would definitely have to say just it's kind of a boring one, but just kind of like the initial, like the bulkiness and the preparation on Ram 9's side. Because like I said, I know how much damage Lucio can put out, and we saw how well he could survive. So it was just be a matter of time before the units were whittled down over on Ram 9's side. But once again, he was just never given the chance. Because you could just tell the preparation on Ram 9's side. Because I don't know if Mariel got supremely unlucky with her Berserks, but I would just guess that Killfay probably had a Berserk Stone on. The buffs were on point. I mean, it felt like Ram 9 knew which team he wanted to prep for and was able to prep for it very, very well.
Agreed. I would have to agree with that. Key of the match, yeah, definitely the preparation and that buffs in the beginning. I think that just helped bring it home for him. So
yeah, like I said, absolutely well done for both players. Really fun to watch. So GG's to both players and congrats to Ram 9.
GG's.
All right, so for this match, we have Get Enthused, coach of Glassy Animals, with Dea, Curry, and Celebrated Jaden, versus Kellz, coach of Feather Force, with Glaciella, Galzek, and Killfay. Let's get into the match. All right, so over here on Get Enthused side, instantly easy to see. We got the water and ice synergy here, but a little bit of a different team than what we're used to seeing. I like seeing the Curry and the Dea as the cheaper options, and then the Celebrated Jaden, like I said, a unit that we don't really get to see too often because of unfortunate AP issues in the main game, but in WBEL with the Sworn 6 Pride disabled, he definitely has more of a chance to shine here. So we have the Dea getting her physical shield buff off, which should help against the Glaciella, but not against the Killfay, and then Curry going off automatically. Not doing a lot of damage, but
not a lot of damage, no statuses landing. That's probably what Surftaco was going for, an early frostbite, especially on this big map that would drain a lot of AP, but didn't happen. And speaking of AP issues, there's the bells on Jaden, so that will eliminate the AP issue that he usually has as his units move to the front line. And Killfay is going to come in, does more of her buffing and running forward. Then we have Glacial. Let's see if she runs forward and jumps in. Surefire Burst, which is a guaranteed hit. Don't know sure if she needed it, but minimal damage on the Dea. Curry doing a basic attack, speaking of minimal damage. Galzak going in the back and going to haste himself up in the back line. Jaden, let's see, he's probably got a good AoE from this angle. Yes, Magnificent Rain. Decent damage on the Killfei, actually, but that Glaciella soaked it up really well.
Yeah.
Maybe some pierce resist over there. Dia, though, continuing to damage that Killfei. She's still got 3k HP, so let's see. Whew, big damage on that Dia with that Energy Buster. And Glaciella going now for the Curry. Stunning his Curry, so he's still just going to sit back there. Let's see if Galzak runs forward. He's got a Cure coming in. Okay. Not fully full, but pretty good for that Mage Tank. Jaden's going to come in with the Limit Burst. This is going to drop Pierce Resistance, so let's see if this will do more damage than his previous hit. Takes out the Killfei. And the Glaciella still hardly any damage to her. So Dea comes in and only half damage to the Galzak in the back line. That tanking it very well. Furry going for the poison and lands it. That's going to help if they can't take away her damage with hits. It's going to deplete her HP over time. So that was a good move there. Glaciella is now going to come in. Basic attacking. Can't kill him off though. Let's see. We got Galzak in buff mode in the back line. So his units are completely spread out.
Ooh.
Oh, and there it is. Jaden's able to finish her off finally. So now it's Galzak versus. So I think it's pretty much game at this point. But yeah, that was kind of a interesting battle. That Glaciella was tanking up those hits very well for quite a while. Just couldn't finish off any of those units. Looked like she needed a little bit more AP to finish them off and just couldn't do it at the end. But let's see how this just ends up. Who's going to claim the kill against the Galzak?
Or is Galzak going to deny? He's going to be the last unit standing and deny the 1 point.
Oh, yeah. He's not going down easy, not going down without a fight. So let's see. Curry comes in. Oh, poison arrow. Okay, it looks like he's got... Curry doesn't have increased chance to poison, but he's getting some good hits with that, and Jaden finishes it off. So,
yep. Oh man, yeah. Like I said, the fight started so quickly. I didn't even get a chance to talk about Kellz's team. Honestly, like I really love the idea from Kellz's side to go with the mixed damage while still having the water and earth, so you can still at least use the Dark Siren, I believe it is, VC, so to at least get some benefit there for the agility. But man, like I like the mixed damage types, and the team was obviously built incredibly well. The Glaciella, I want to know what he's been feeding that Glaciella, because I need to feed that to my units, because that Glaciella survived like 4, 5, 6 hits without even going below 25% HP. Like that was ridiculous how well the Glaciella was tanking the Curry, the Dea, and I think 1 or 2 hits from the Jaden before she finally started taking some actual serious damage. So, like I said, Kellz team, and that being said, like it's not like he's sacrificed damage for survivability either, because that Killfei was dealing like 4,000 damage on her own. The Glaciella was putting up some very respectable numbers too. So, I mean, Kellz's team was built incredibly well. It was just unfortunate for him that like I said, the Jaden has the physical barrier, the Curry was able to land the status effects with the poison, the Dea put out some solid damage of her own, but the Jaden with that limit burst doing I think like 10k to the Killfei to finally finish her off was kind of the nail in the coffin there. But it was like a great fight. I think Kellz's team was very well built, but man, Surftaco's side was just also very well built. I'll put it that.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I really liked the strategy that was behind the Kellz's formation. It was interesting because this map, I think we've seen it in other matches too. It's so big that you can't always predict the movements, and I feel like Galzak fell a little behind, maybe couldn't get up to continue buffing the front line. Meanwhile, once Killfei went down and Glaciella was all by herself, it was a little too much for her to hang in there with the other 3 units still going strong on Surftaco's side. But yeah, I would have to say the key to the match, that turnaround which swung it into Surftaco's favor, was the limit burst that finished off that Killfei, because without that Killfei, the Glaciella had a hard time standing on her own. So I give the key to the match to that Jaden limit burst.
Yep, I I don't want to agree with you every single time, but I'm gonna have to agree with you. That's where I would give it to. That was for me what swung the match. Because like I said, the Killfay was putting out some really good damage, but I think she was like the main one putting out the damage. So once she went down, I think Glaciella didn't really have enough in the tank left, especially I think it was either that turn or the following turn she ran out of AP. So yeah, she definitely didn't have enough in the tank to be able to finish off the 3 units by herself. And especially with Galzak in the back, not being able to reach her with heals, that limit burst definitely was the one, was the thing that swung it around in my opinion too. So, GG's to both players and congrats Surftaco.
Yes, GG's to both players.
All right, so for this match we have Unhindered, coach of Soak and Destroy, with Agrius, Silma, and Lightning. And then on the other side we have Isvar, coach of Elda Enthusiast League, with Fang, Minwoo, and Surgis. Let's get into the match. All right, so from over on Isvar's side, we see the Fang making an appearance once again, along with Minwoo and Surgis, who, like I said, are probably some of like the best units for their cost in this league. Like Minwoo at 50 and Surgis at 30, and they have shown up very well for their costs. So Silma over here getting her AoE buff off, so that could help against mitigating some of Fang's damage. Surgis getting the haste online. And then over on Unhindered side, we see the Agrius, which we have seen come out multiple times from Unhindered, I think every single week at this point. And then we also see the Lightning, who we have Lightning DPS versus Lightning DPS here. So we have to see which.
Fantasy 13 units going at it.
That's true. Yeah, both Final Fantasy 13s. You're right. So we have to see which one comes out on top. The Agrius tanking the Surges incredibly well off this first attack here.
Here comes Lightning in. Yeah. Going for that, but she does not have her follow-up online, so we'll see how much that plays a factor into it.
Yeah.
Minwoo hasten up Isfar's side. Let's see if Selma's casting. Looks like she should be in range to hit, but I don't know if she's going offensive. Agrius doing her limit burst that we've known and loved since year 1, causing the confusion on Surgis, so let's see if he turns around and hits his units, although Selma might... Oh, wait. Okay, the heal back from Minwoo, but... Still confused. Thundera. Okay. Doing some damage to the Surges. Woke him out of his confusion. And here comes Fangs. A limit burst.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
Oh no.
What?
That was some damage. It
was good.
Animation, I think. We didn't even get to see that. So here comes Surgis trying to finish off the fight, and he does. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Well, I know Fang, I'm always impressed with Fang's damage. Like, even, if I bring an Earth team to face Fang, she could put out major damage versus Earth, but I was not expecting that much damage right off the bat. That was crazy damage. Yeah, I'm a little speechless because I was like ready to call out like at least another minute of the match, and we didn't get that far, unfortunately. Wow.
Yeah.
Chisei, what do you think?
I'm right there with you. I'm speechless. Lightning and Silma both not known for being very tanky units, so them not taking a bunch of damage from the Fang is not surprising, but taking cap damage and getting one shot is actually very surprising. And it's not, I would say it's not due to any fault on Unhindered side, because he had the AoE res buff online, and we saw how much damage that Agrius tanked in the beginning from the Surges, and I would assume that he's probably leaning into the spear VCs there. So the Surges is probably built with some good damage as well. So I just think that this Fang is on another level. I just think this Fang did so much damage. And then the follow-up too, I think the follow-up itself also did like 7,000 or something crazy like that. I don't know how much damage it did. It was just wild, whatever it was.
Yeah, I missed how much the follow-up did because I think my jaw was still on the floor from the first hit. So it was just like, that was crazy damage. That thing, I don't know how she's built. I don't know if I want to know. I don't ever want to cross paths with Isvar's Fang. Let's just say that. But
See, because like I said,
damn it.
he's brought her out in like previous weeks, and she's always done well, but it's always been exactly that, just well. You know, she's done her job as a damage dealer, but never to this kind of a showcase. This was very impressive to see, and a good showcase of what Fang can do when built correctly.
It was. And unfortunately, on Unhindered side too, his units his Agrius never got to separate from his units. So when they were in range, they were able to hit everyone with that big AoE. You never know with a map like this that, you know, if you're going to start on the same side or start way across the map, like, do you want something with big movement, with small movement? It's hard to say. Unfortunately, in this case, the initial placement just didn't work out in Unhindered's favor, and the damage on Fang's side, as far as Fang, was just too much.
Absolutely.
The key of the match was that limit burst, because there was not much more to think about in terms of the key of the match, unfortunately. But that definitely was an impressive showing. So.
I mean, I think that's where I'm going to have to disagree with you. I think for me, the key of the match was actually the Blade Bash from Surges at the end. That was actually what cleaned up the Agrius, and so I think that I'm just joking, but it did land the final blow.
I'm interested to see where you're going with this. All right.
But actually, I will just be a little different. I will choose a different play of the match, even though this one's a lot more boring. I will say it's probably the initial placement for the same reasons you mentioned. Agrius wasn't able to separate from the team. The Lightning never got her follow-up buff online. It was probably the worst case scenario for Unhindered when it comes to the initial placement, because, like I said, grouped up for a huge AoE, which killed his entire team, and the Lightning wasn't able to get her full damage potential online either. So I'm going to give it to initial placement.
But GG's to both players. Congrats to Isvar.
Yep, GG's to both players. All right, after all that, here are the standings. In first place, we have Surftaco alone at 4-0. And then next up, in second place, we have Ram9 and Isvar, both at 3-1. Third place, we have KoushouHaou, Kellz, and Alkor, all at 2-2. And then in fourth place, we have Loji, Unhindered, Funded, and ChaseVsAll, all at 1-3. So now we're at the halfway point of, we're entering week 5. So the standings are starting to really show themselves a little bit. So it's still really anyone's match. Because like I said, if Surftaco loses all the next 5 matches and someone with 1-3 wins all 5, then they would have a better record than Surftaco. But man, it's going to be pretty hard to climb from now on. So you just got to make sure your matches from now on are nice and tight.
Yeah, we had some great matches this week. We get to see everyone on the board now. This is a pretty tight division, so we have 5 more weeks to go. As you said, the standings are starting to show themselves, but it's still anybody's game. So can't count anyone out yet, and excited to see how it shakes out.
Yep, same here. So GG's to all the players that have played this week, and good luck in your next week.
GG's.